So my name is Alissa Heaton, and I am here at Queen City Framing and Art Supplies today, and I am showing off my little watercolor flock of birds that I've done. Got my college degree and was art and education, so a lot of my art background is in teaching others art, and so I teach a lot of watercolor and fun drawing and things like that too. And so, but a lot of my roots come from, growing up in rural Colorado with a lot of really fun big mountains and colors and wildlife. And I also have a very Western family, so we do a lot of like rodeos and things like that. So it's kind of a culmination of the way I can, express my upbringing and my love for nature and going out and hiking, and then just, interpreting it also a little differently than just realistically. So you can tell what they are, but they have a little bit of a flair, like I made them a little bit fatter than normal, or a little different colored, or different fun things like that too. So yeah, it's just a fun way to express my surroundings too, is really what I do with it. So most of them are done with watercolor pencil, and then some ink as well. And I played with some salt and some new colors that we just came out with that are the like dusk colors, so they change colors a little bit, and some interference and metallic colors. And so it was really just a really good way to play. I played with a lot of different things, and watercolor's still fairly new to me. I'm very self-taught in it, so it was a good way to do little things and kind of focus on practicing my skills and honing in on what I like to do with watercolors. So, well, it started with this original little guy over here. We had the little tiny frame, and I'm like, oh my goodness, a really tiny cute little bird would be perfect in that. And so I made a really tiny cute little bird, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I just love these really tiny cute little birds. And I've always thought birds are fun. I wouldn't call myself a birder, and I don't know a lot about birds, but I just think they're beautiful creatures, and the colorful ones are my favorite. So I'm like, I just kind of want to capture fun birds and fun different elements, like my little emu guy who's got just a crazy expression, and just fun things like that. So the framing was probably just as much fun as painting the actual birds, because once I painted them, I looked at them and been like, all right, what does this guy kind of give me a vibe for, or how do I feel about this bird? Like the little emu guy again, he had a little hint of crazy to him, and so I'm like, oh, if I could do something, kind of fun in the background and make him really come forward at you. And so I gave him kind of that shadow box feel, where some of them I just kept them really simple, with like a fun cutout like the little meadow lark, or just fun textures. And just to bring out the bird's kind of personality and make the bird really stand out, and practice my framing techniques too, because there's a lot of things that I don't get to do a lot, so it's fun to get to practice them and get a little more comfortable in my skills, like cutting fillets or cutting fun V-grooves or anchoring them different in positions. So yeah, it was really fun to do that too. And usually when you think of framing, you think of one way, you don't think of all the different fun things you can do. So it's kind of fun to show people that as well. And you can have a really fun little piece and do, something really fun and as simple as just a really big mat, or just fun colors and things like that too. Like I said, I got my degree in art and education, and moved out here shortly after graduation and didn't quite know what I wanted to do. And a lot of people think of art careers as being, graphic arts and things like that. But framing is really a fun way to do more of that hands-on creative. And I see a lot of different art and different people's works that they bring in, which is really fun too, because I'll look at things and be like, oh, I could do something fun like this, or this little piece of this part speaks to me. And so it's really fun to work in a creative environment like this, because I'm doing things I love, but I can also go home and paint and do that kind of fun art expression too. So I'm not always just painting and painting and painting and painting, but I get to frame and be creative in other ways too. And teaching is just a lot of fun. I get to teach all kinds of different age groups and people and backgrounds and materials, which is a lot of fun. And so when I teach, I learn too. So I really like that too.